What's up, everybody? Tim Anderson here, aka Renfail. Looks like yesterday, Matt Mercer and Marisha Ray of Critical Role spoke to IO9, and the interview that they gave. The title of this article says "Critical Role Cast supports independent creators and new systems." However, they don't come down on one side or the other, and I think it's a very interesting stance to take because I think that they're coming at this from the angle of they are now then they're not just I'm a random YouTuber on the internet, right? I can make videos and statements that don't affect lots of people because it's just me, my wife, and kind of my brother with what we're working on with our own tabletop stuff. But I don't have a company behind me. I don't have, I don't know how many employees they have, but I don't have dozens of employees relying upon me to pay their bills, feed their family, get insurance, make their mortgage payments. I don't have that responsibility. When you do, and I have been in that position with game studios and construction companies over the year where you've got 20 employees or so who are dependent upon you, when you're in that position, you have to be much more diplomatic in the way that you approach everything business, public statements, so on and so forth, because it's more than just you that's being affected. So, this statement, the way that they answer the questions in the interview is very interesting to me because it's very ambiguous. And I know some people have criticized Critical Role for not taking a stand. It's like you should be out there, screaming at Wizards of the Coast because what they're doing is wrong. Well, from many people's perspective, my own included, I am not a fan of what Wizards of the Coast is doing, but I'm also not out there boycotting them. I have said that we're no longer going to use the OGL in our products, and we're not going to support what they're doing with tabletop under the new OGL if this is the language that they're moving forward as of this writing, which is 1.2. Um, but however, at the same time, I'm going to go watch the movie. I'm going to watch the live action TV show. I'm going to play Baldur's Gate 3. I'm going to enjoy other video games. Dragonlance and Forgotten Realms have meant a lot to me over the years, and the game itself is not bad. It's just the current management of the company that publishes the game is bad. And so, but I'm also not, I'm coming at it from that angle, and they're coming at it from, they have a business operation here. So it's a different position entirely. So they haven't come out and made a stand. What they did say is that we're happy to support all creators, and doesn't really matter where those creators land. We'll be happy to support creators and the community and everything else. So again, like I said, some people have criticized them for not making this statement. I wouldn't if I was in their position, because of all the things that I just mentioned. It wouldn't serve any purpose to do so. The intent here is to remain functioning as a business and not get dragged into all the drama. So I think it's a very smart business decision on their part. And they do mention, like, we'll go through the interview here in a second, but they talk about how they have had, their whole team has had lengthy discussions about what to say and when to say it in order to convey support to the community. And I think that's important because they're using very specific wording here, community. And that can mean a lot of different things. Some people are like, and this is the other thing. I think that this is a good response to make because at the end of the day, and this is why I'm not in the boycott camp. The tabletop community is everyone. It's not D&D players versus, you know, Castles of Crusade, Pathfinder, Starfinder, Savage Worlds, GURPS, D6, Core, blah 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 blah. It's not D&D versus all of these people. That's not. It has never been about that. And people who think that way are kind of part of the problem because it's not this system versus that system, this ecosystem versus that ecosystem, this set of worlds and lore versus this set of worlds and lore. That's not what this is all about. This is about a corporate entity getting involved in our passion, in our hobby. For some people, their business, coming in and trying to say what we can and can't do with the things that we create using our imagination. And that's what the issue is. The issue is Wizards of the Coast and Hasbro and what they're doing with the licensing of things. It has nothing to do with Dungeons and Dragons / Forgotten Realms / Dragonlance / all the other worlds in D&D versus all the other worlds of all these other systems. That's not what it's about. It's about the community at whole, and that's what the statement that Critical Role has made is all about. It's about the community. So when they sat down with IO9, and this is published over, I'm pulling this from Gizmodo. Matt Mercer and Marisha Ray sat down. They respectively act as the chief creative officer and chief creative director. Excuse me. And their response in regards to the movement that's going on right now within D&D fandom regarding the OGL situation, they said, "We thoroughly believe that the more systems, the more RPGs that are out there, the more variety that people have to choose from. That only strengthens the entire community," said Ray. It's important to have an environment that does allow those creators, independent, big, small, to create and make new things. Whichever way allows the community to do that, that's where we're going to stand and support. She recalls that Critical Role started as a small independent project. We are never going to forget our roots. Meanwhile, Mercer added that he's definitely interested in watching where it goes and talks about the fact that the choice to separate the open gaming license between the OGL 1.2 and a Creative Commons license was a grandiose step in a grandiose direction. I'm very eager to see where it goes from here. So they've made, during the interview, they made these pair of statements in particular. We don't really, it's they're saying that whichever way allows the community to do that, that's where we're going to stand and support. And they're also, Mercer is praising what they're doing, separating things out and making some stuff Creative Commons. So ultimately, they're saying that they're just going to be with the community at large, and that's like I said, it's a non-political statement. It is and some people are going to say, "Oh, it's a non-statement." I don't think that that's the case. I think that they're being diplomatic in and measured in their approach and the way they are saying things. It does appear as though they support everything that's going on with just evolution as a whole with the different communities wherever they choose to be, while also, giving credit where credit is due in terms of making the new license, the OGL stuff under the Creative Commons. So, like I said, the interviews, go over there, read it. Links are down below if you want to take your time, dig into other statements that they've made over the past few weeks. Like I said, they're a big company at this point. I like what they do. I like Critical Role. I don't watch it all the time, but I'm entertained when I watch. Vox Machina is entertaining every time I watch it. I love seeing them show up and do voice cast stuff, like having them do Pillars of Eternity Dreadfire was really cool. Like, I like the stuff that these people do as a group of friends and as a production company and entertainment source. And I don't want to see them, have this entire enterprise that they've worked on building up for so many years thrown to the wind because of someone else's actions or them rushing to make some sort of a statement. I think that they're trying to navigate the storms like many people. You can also see the Dungeon Dudes made a statement. I watched it yesterday. I don't know when it was published, but I was watching it late at night on my phone. Their statement was also very sort of, we're waiting to see kind of thing. We're very nervous. We're very stressed. We're not getting a lot of sleep. Like, everyone is very anticipate. It's one thing to be anticipating it, and in a way that is like, oh, come on, like, let's get this over with. And it's another one to be stressing about it. And some people are, having a lot of stress about it. So at the end of the day, they, like everyone else, are waiting to see what's going to happen and what's going to come out of this. They appear to be on the side of the creators, but that just means tabletop, the community as a whole. I also support the community as a whole. Like I said, I've never distinguished between D&D players and non, because I was a D&D player for that's what I've always played. I've never played other systems other than what has come with Dungeons and Dragons, because I'm 43. I just turned 43 recently. I've been playing since I was a teenager, right? I have been getting 30 years of entertainment from Dungeons and Dragons related products. The problem is not the game. I don't care about the various systems. I love the lore. I love the worlds, the novels, the things that have spun out around D&D. I love all of that. It's very frustrating to me to see this going down, and I'm not going to just turn around and say, let's burn it all down to the ground, because I don't like what Wizards of the Coast is doing with the OGL. I'm going to make my voice heard, which I have done through my videos here on YouTube, and I support what the ORC Alliance is doing, but it does pain me because I've been a part of that D&D community for years and years and years, and I want to see that community continue to flourish. And because a lot of great content has spun up around third-party content, independent content, great like modules created for the D&D worlds through like the DM's Guild and everything else. And I don't want to see all that ruined because of Wizards of the Coast. So in that way, even though I'm criticizing Wizards of the Coast, I also understand their statement entirely. Like it is about the community at the end of the day. So I'm just reporting the news one way or the other. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon if you like to hear me ramble about these topics. I do live stream on Sunday mornings. Occasionally throughout the week, I will also stream games and this topic as well as we continue. I'm uncovering Starfinder for the first time. So if you want to check those Discovering Starfinder videos out, you can check those. I've got the Mondays of Middle Earth, lots of other stuff. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon. Drop a super thanks. Drop a super chat. Join as a member down below. Support the channel that way. Don't forget our Patreon page for our own tabletop world, point and click adventure game and book series, and of course Discord. I'll see everybody in the next video. Stay safe out there and happy gaming.